Next thing is a menu. And for that, I'm just going to go back to our adder app and add something to it. And I think for this one, I'm just going to show you the existing one rather than build it from scratch, just to kind of save time. All right, so I put a menu here. And in the menu, I can specify which operation I want to do: add, subtract, multiply, divide. All right, so multiply, let's say 25, 25, calculate, and I get 625. If I change it to divide, I get 1. All right. So the question is, how do you detect what operation was selected? Which entry from the menu was selected? So let's look at the code view. Now I'll come back and talk about global variables in a minute. But for right now, again, even I added a menu, but I don't particularly want anything to happen when I select the item from the menu, or at least that's the design choice I made. I chose to wait until I click the calculate button for anything to happen. Right, so I actually did not add a callback for the menu itself. Right, that would be a different design choice. You could update the calculation when the person selects a different operation, but I chose not to do that. All right, so that means I just added something to the calculate button pushed callback. And what did I add? Right, so just like before, let me expand that a little bit. Whoops. Now, so just like before, I'm reading the two numbers from the edit fields. And then I have to determine what operation was selected. So that's where I interrogate the menu. So I called this menu, if you look at its handle, it's app.operation dropdown. Or actually, that's just the default value because I called it operation here. So MATLAB gave it a tag of operation dropdown. All right, so app.operation dropdown dot value. Now, one little tricky thing though, what's the value? You actually specify what that is when you select this item. There's a thing here called items data, and then there's items. So items is what you want to appear in the menu: add, subtract, multiply, divide. So you see, I just entered that here in the items box. Items data is the value that's going to be returned when that item is selected. So just to simplify it, I chose to make that 1, 2, 3, 4. I could have put it something else, but I chose 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what value is going to be. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. However, their choice, MATLAB's choice when they designed that's just text. So it's not the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's just the character 1, 2, 3, or 4. So I'm going to do a switch. And in the cases, I put 1, 2, 3, or 4 in quotes, because that's what it's returning, is just the character. Okay. And so in fact, just to make it, just to illustrate what's happening a little better, let me even change it to something else. Let me put plus, minus, times, slash. Okay. All right, so now when I select add, subtract, multiply, divide, the value is going to be one of these characters, plus, minus, asterisk, or slash. So that's what I put here. All right, so that should still work, I hope. And I will post this app to Carmen later so you can look at it at your leisure. Don't try to create it on the fly. Let's do multiply again. Okay, that still works. Divide. Yep. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's how you do a drop down. And by the way, to add the drop down, you just come over here, select drop down, click and drag it. Put whatever you want the title to be, like I put operation, then enter the items, what you want the options to be in the menu, and then what value you want it to return when that item is selected. All right, so that's about all there is to a menu. Okay, but again, you could have, if you wanted to, in fact, let me do it. Let me add a drop down, I'm sorry, add a callback for the drop down. Because the way it is right now, it's maybe a little misleading, because if I do a calculation and then change the operation, it's still got the old number there. That doesn't make any sense, right? Until I click calculator. So maybe I would have fixed that. So let's add a drop down for the menu. So I'm going to select the menu over here, add. Okay, so the operation drop down menu. When the value changes, what do I want to do? And I think all I'm going to do here is, when the value changes, I'm just going to display a 0. I'm just going to copy this. And I don't actually need to know what the value is, so I'm just going to get rid of that line. So this is just MATLAB kind of helpfully telling me this is how you get the value that was selected from the menu. Okay. But in this case, I don't really need it, because all I'm going to do is display a 0. Maybe I should even do a blank. It doesn't matter. All right, so I do one calculation, and then I change the operation. And so since I changed the value in the menu, it executed this callback and set that label to 0.